Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgiman and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Berserk chapter 376. So, what did I think about this week's chapter? Honestly, I thought this week's chapter was really good at setting up what's to come in towards the end game of the story, because it seems now that, we're really making some big moves and we're making alliances and big plays to step up to Griffith towards the end of the story in this big conclusion of a war, because it seems now that, it's no longer just a passive game of waiting to see what's going to happen. It seems like now we're really stepping to overgear and we're going to have a big conclusion of a battle. Whether it's going to be anytime soon, who knows, but we're definitely planting the seeds, which is something that I very much looking forward to. Now, before I go any further with this week's chapter, I just want to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all my Berserk as well as all my anime and manga content that I'll be providing in this channel. It really helps out a lot, and I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. So if you guys could, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get into this week's chapter. So this week's chapter starts off with a beautiful color page of both Guts and Puck, and I really like the how Studio Gaga approached it, because it seems like we're stepping into a new journey, which we are, because we're on uncharted territory. We're stepping into the homeland of the Kushins. And you see this beautiful illustration of Puck and Guts, looking into the kingdom of Falconia, it seems. And that's where the end goal is going to be. They're going to try to go to Falconia. So, mad props, just wanted to point that out. And picking up actually where the manga is, the chapter starts off where we see Guts in the astral realm, where he's, it looks like he's being swept away by the beast of darkness. How he was swimming in emptiness and nothing. And it seems that he was going to be consumed by the beast of darkness. And in this week's chapter, we see that actually Shirke steps up and saves Guts. She is the one person that's able to go in there and pull him out, which is something that many of us were expecting to happen. I mean, I personally thought that maybe Ricker was going to be the person that pulls Guts out of it, but it ended up being Shirke. So it's the safe option, and it's the option that makes the most sense, because she's always been able to, withdraw Guts from the beast of darkness. So, you see her, and, she's knocked out as well. You see Farnese and Serpico and them taking care of her. And eventually she's able to pull Guts out. And I really like their chemistry together. I think that it's like a very, father and daughter. And it was very sweet, them grabbing hands, Shirke pulling him out back to reality. So, yeah, that mad props for Shirke to rescuing Guts. Mad props to her. And we see pretty much what happens is he wakes up and he's been chained up. He's in a prison and he's by himself, and Guts is like, what just happened? And you see him just without the armor, thankfully, because that the armor was consuming him, So he's just by himself, handcuffed, and we see the explanation why, because Ricker is pissed off. He's like, why is Guts, what are you doing, Salat? Why you handcuff Guts? It's not fair. And Salat actually makes a great point, which is that, right now, what that black swordsman is capable of. I know the legends, you know the legends too, and that right now he's not just only a threat for us, but also for himself. And it would make sense, because right now Guts is not in a good place of mind. So it would make sense for Salat to handcuff him and keep him a quote-unquote a prisoner for the time being, because you don't want to jeopardize all your people just being slaughtered, because Guts hypothetically could do that. But what happens is that pretty much Salah just lays it down to Rickard, and everybody's like, listen, you guys are refugees, so therefore you guys gotta listen to me. And I'm the top dog, you guys should be grateful. And he just starts explaining why pretty much he even took them in. He's like, we need all the resources we can, and right now you magicians, you guys are gonna play an important part. And he's pointing at the witches and all that. And you see the guy that was the general of Emperor Ganishka, I forget his name, the guy that the Farnese and the rest of the crew fought earlier. I think it's Ganaf or something, I forget, I could be wrong, but he's looking at all these witches oh, these girls are powerful. And even when Shirke was astral projecting herself into Guts and getting into his mental psyche, he's like, oh wow, these people are very powerful. Yes, I should make a play and try to take them under my wing. And we see how he's able to do that, because he talks to Salat. He's like, hey, would it be okay if I am responsible for them? They're refugees, so maybe they're under my command for the time being. And Salat is like, do whatever you want. And one thing to note, we got to see best girl Morta once again. And anytime I see Morta in the manga, my heart skips 7 times faster, because the room got hotter just by looking at her. I was like, okay, the hot ones are in. We got Morta, best girl, the hottest witch in manga, just saying. Yeah, that's a controversial take maybe. I'm sticking with it. But what we see is pretty much going forward, we see that we catch up. We're pretty much a lot is just explaining like, listen, going forward, you guys are going to be working for us because you guys are like going to be enlisted in the army as refugees. And Roderick is like, whoa, what is happening? Like, why are we even doing this? This is like unacceptable. I thought we were just going to be here as like your guests. And he's like, we've been kind to you, and like, what's the understanding of this? Like, this is not cool. And like I said, Salat is just like, well, listen, man, we got to gather sources so we can fight this final war. And Roderick's like, what are you talking about? And before I continue with that, it's also important to point out that we actually see a great reunion that we haven't seen in so many years, which is we get to see the reunion of both Puck and Rickett. And, you know, it was really good. Like, it was really cool seeing them together because it's been many years since the last time we've seen them, you know, coexist in a page. So it was really fun seeing Rickett, like, see Puck is like, hey, man, haven't seen you forever. Like, what's up? And you see just Puck, like, quiet, which is very, like, I'm wondering why he's so quiet. Either is literally he doesn't remember who Rickett is, which would be actually pretty funny, or he's just trying to be like a little like, oh yeah, like yeah, I'm like a cool guy. Either he's trying to be like a little tsundere, you know, a little bit like stuck up, like, oh yeah, whatever, man, I don't even remember you. Or maybe he genuinely doesn't remember, because in their time, I think it's been like maybe 3 years or 2, but who knows? I mean, Puck is pretty goofy and he's pretty much an idiot, so I wouldn't be surprised if he did forget who Rickett was. But what we see pretty much going forward is how we, you know, move in the chapter towards the end is that, you know, as, you know, Rickett is like thinking to himself, like, how did Guts get to this place in mind, and how did he even come to all of this? Like, what happened? And then he's like, oh, it must be Griffith, but like, how and why? And that's a question for us that, you know, we all assume, like, we know that he's trying to, you know, destroy all connections to the astral realm. You know, he wants to take over, and we know that that's why he took, you know, he took over Fantasia and destroyed it. Not destroyed it in the sense, but he made it go away, like the island synced and all that, because he knew that the witches were a threat. And who also confirmed this thought of notion? Salat himself, because he realizes, like, listen, the reason we're arming our forces and getting prepared for this huge war is because the Falcon of Light, you know, that's our enemy, because we know that he is been trying to take down every single place where it has some kind of magic that isn't demonic, because that's what he seems to be monopolizing. That's why he has all these monsters, all these demons, and anybody that has any sort of connection to any sort of magic or anything like that, it's an enemy of him. You know, he's trying to destroy all of that. It makes sense. And Fantasia, he synced that to the bottom of it, you know, he synced it. Like, it's no longer there. You know, the island of elves, that's gone. And then it seems like it's a confirmation as well that Salat knows, which it also is a confirmation for us as the audience, because we had been speculating, like, where is the destination that Griffith is heading towards? And it seems like he's going towards the Kushan Empire, where Salat and them are currently in, because Salat and them is like, he's gonna come to us. Like, he's been chasing down all these enemies, and we're gonna be next on the target. So we now have a confirmation that Griffith is heading towards, at least from what we can guess, it's heading towards them, because a lot of us were speculating, where is he going to? I myself didn't know exactly, like, where is he going to? But now we know. And I think that right now we're definitely setting up the final fight. Now, whether this final fight will take place in the Kushan Empire place that they're at, I doubt it. I think the final conclusion should be taking place in Falconia, but who am I to say? Maybe it will take place there, maybe not. But if I had to bet, if I was a betting man, I would put my chips on the final confrontation being placed in Falconia, where, you know, Guts and them will, you know, try to rescue Casca. Or who knows, maybe this whole fight, you know, Griffith and his army come towards the Kushan Empire, and Guts and them, you know, that's their moment for them to be like, okay, we gotta go to Falconia, and we gotta rescue, you know, Casca. Like, you know, because I don't see how they're gonna step up, because no matter how many people the Salat recruit, including the crew, you know, Guts, Farnese, and the rest of them, it's still not gonna be enough against, like, you know, the God Hand, like, you know, pretty much Griffith and them. So a lot of big important things that played out in this week's chapter, and you know, sadly we don't have another chapter next month, but I'll be here no matter what. I'll be here waiting patiently, because it's Berserk and I love this series, and you know, they can take their time as long as, you know, we bring out the quality and it's a good story unfolding, which it has been so far since Studio Gaga has taken over, which I appreciate by them. Now, with all that being said, what did you guys think about this week's chapter? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys thought it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, thank you so much for sticking all the way to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more Berserk, as well as more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.